On the next Roseanne Show, Roseanne sits down with living legend Loretta Lynn to talk about life, love, and the other woman.
'Cause you ain't woman enough to take my man.
My next guest is a musical icon and a living legend. I'm so happy she's here. Please help me welcome Loretta Lynn.
Do you think we learn anything from Mrs. Madison?
I don't know. What do you think?
Well, she's been married 8 times, huh?
Yeah, you've only been married 1 time.
Well, that's enough. This is what I'm wondering.
I'm on my 3rd, you know. But you managed to stay married for almost 50 years.
Yeah, it would have been 50 this year.
You just lost your husband. 50 years, and you're so young, and that's because you were 13 years old when you got married.
Yeah. I kind of walked out of Daddy's arms into his arms. And, you know, I was the baby girl for... I think I was 9 when... or maybe 10 when my sister come along. And, of course, I was always in Daddy's lap because I was jealous if he picked up one of the babies. So I'd get over in Daddy's lap and he'd have to rock me, too. So he was rocking me when I got married. So,
wow.
And the night that...
It's not really all that unusual to get married when you're 13.
No, it really is. You know, all the girls that I grew up with, cousins, and like I say, Kentucky looks like a telephone pole. Should I have said that? But anyway, well, it's okay.
I wanted
They know it too, don't they?
Yeah, they know it.
But anyway,
I want to ask you something about that, though.
All right.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Because I was thinking, well, Loretta Lynn was 13 years old when she got married. And what do you think of this woman, Mary Kay Letourneau? They're giving her, you know, she's in all this trouble because she's in love with this student of hers who was 14 years old when she got with him. What do you think of that?
You know, I really never thought too much about it because you kind of try to stay out of something that you don't care about.
All right, so you don't
didn't bother me any, so
you don't think it's like so shocking because
well, it was. I wouldn't do it, but maybe it was okay for her. I mean, how can we be a judge?
Right.
You know, we can't judge.
Right. Well, and you also had like 4 kids by the time you were 17 years old, didn't you?
Yes, and by the time I was 21, I had lost 3, you know, like I have RH negative blood, but I didn't know it then, and no doctor told me. And I guess they didn't get paid. That's probably why they didn't tell me. But anyway, I lost 3 babies when it was 3 months or 4 months. And then found out when my sissy was born, she had her earlobe off. And they got to looking around, and then they told me, you have RH negative blood, and you may never have another baby. But after I went to Nashville, after I started singing, I thought, this is going to be very hard, which it was hard, very hard. I got pregnant after 2 or 3 years after I left and went to Nashville. And I worked right up till the babies was born, though. I worked up one night before the baby was born. Wow.
How old were you the first time you ever went on stage?
27.
Before you were on stage?
Uh-huh.
I thought you were like on stage when you were 14 or 15.
No, I was in the swing, swinging babies and mommies and rocking my babies. That's the only place my husband ever heard me sing. And it would be White Christmas or something like that, you know.
So you were 27 when you got the idea to go?
I didn't get the idea, it was his. He says, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to get you a job.
So you were just home with all these kids,
yeah.
And your husband had heard you sing, and he comes home one day, he's like, here's what we're going to do.
He got one of these little harmony guitars, which was like $17, I think. And I always wanted a wedding band. And it's broke right now, and it just about kills me, but I'm going to get it fixed. They tried to sell me a new one the other day when I took that in to get it fixed, and I said, I don't want your new one.
Of course you don't want a new
No,
one.
I don't want a new one. I want mine. And so, well, I kissed her, and I wanted to get it off my face.
I want to leave it there.
And
No, I just can't believe that your husband comes home and goes, okay, Loretta, you're going to go start singing.
he did. He said, now you learn to play that. So I learned to play that. And I learned to play.
Well, did you think that was a crazy idea, or were you excited about it, or what?
Oh, I like to die. He pushed me on stage. I don't know how many times he pushed me out there. And I'd go on just scared to death, and then I'd leave the stage with a migraine headache. And I'd get over the headache around Wednesday and then start taking it again on Friday because I knew I was going to sing Saturday.
Did you think, were you making money that made you want to go?
$5 on a Saturday night. That's like that old song, got $5 and it's Saturday night.
Well, how come you didn't say no to him?
Well,
you must have wanted to do it.
Are you kidding me?
You didn't
Say
even
no
want
to him?
No. You couldn't say no to your husband?
Not too well.
Wow, so he's
let's put it like this. I had the 4 kids, and if one of them made a mistake or I made a mistake, then the little boogers would get into things during the day, and I couldn't whip them. I couldn't whip them to save my life. And I'd say, as soon as your daddy comes home, he'll kill you. And I'm going to tell him. And before, it didn't take but a couple of times that I quit that. Because when he'd come home, he whipped them, he'd give me one too.
So you went on stage to sing because you thought he was going to kick your butt if you didn't.
Well, I knew that he wasn't going to like it, and I knew we wouldn't get along, so I knew that things wouldn't go very well.
Man.
So
well, then, somewhere, though,
well, he
somewhere...
said just 2 years, and we'll have enough money to buy us a home.
Okay.
Well,
so you thought there was going to be an end? Because you didn't ever like it?
Well, no, because I had never done it. You got to realize where I come from, Roseanne, was way in the back in the mountains. And then when he brought me to Washington State, I never got out of the house. One time I went to the grocery store in 1 year and was scared to death to go in. He'd usually pick up a few groceries on the way home from work. And,
I can't even deal with that. It's so amazing.
It's true.
It's so amazing.
So when I started...
And then, like, these songs, when did you start writing songs? We'll talk about that. Because the songs you wrote were about this really strong woman who was, like, so defiant.
About this ornery man. Oh,
well, let's take a commercial and come back and talk about that. Okay. Don't go anywhere. More with Loretta Lynn after these messages. Transform country music. Nobody had ever heard anything like the songs you wrote before.
That's right.
Because there was a lot of kind of women victim songs about, oh, my husband left me and he kicked my butt and he whatever, you know how country, but your songs were different because, let's talk about the kind of songs you wrote.
Well, the songs that they were singing were Little Darling, I'll Be Here When You Come Home, and I'm not that kind of person. I might have been a little, but I fought. He never hit me once and I didn't hit him twice. Let's put it that way. I did, and I wasn't very big. 5'2" ain't too big, and I always said I was 5'3", and he'd say, Loretta, why do you lie like that? I wanted to be taller than 5'2", so I made myself 5'3", but
your songs, like, totally shocked.
Yeah,
the whole
you know, they banned a lot of them, and they banned the pill, and I'm the only one that never took it. Every
You're the only
woman
one that
I
never
knew
took the pill?
took the pill. Because I'd get down from a club, you know, when I work in clubs, I'd do 4 shows a night, and then I'd take a 10-minute break every hour. I'd get down and talk to the people in the club, and all the women were taking the pill. So I never thought
about birth control
pills.
You know, because like in our time, oh, these people are young. I don't even know if they know that. That was a big deal when women got birth control pills.
Yeah.
Say 1 or 2 of the lines in that song.
But the thing of it was, if I'd have had them, I'd eat them like popcorn. Because let me tell you, they're like the pill. Let's see.
Say a couple lines of that song.
I start. Well, I can't even think.
Oh, well, okay, I'll say it. You're like, well, this and that and the other, but, you know, things are going to change because now I've got the pill.
You sucked this chicken your last time because now I've got the pill. Let's see, how does it start out? You wine me and dine me when I was your girl. Promised if I'd be your wife, you'd show me the world. All I've seen of this old world is a bed and a doctor bill. I'm tearing down your brooder house, 'cause now I've got the pill.
that song and I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar, I mean, those were like groundbreaking songs for women to hear.
And, you know, when I went in writing Don't Come Home A-Drinkin'.
Oh, I love that one.
City, and I had a good
Don't come home
reason.
A-Drinkin' with lovin' on your mind.
That's right. And it's just as bad if you come home a-lovin' with drinking on your mind. Turn it around, Roseanne. But it's terrible.
And Fifth City.
Yeah, Fifth City, I wrote that about an old girl.
Tell us that story.
Yeah, she was a school bus driver. And she'll probably see this show, and I hope she does.
Tell us about that.
I'd like to finish her off.
Why is that, Loretta?
Well, I don't like her.
Why not?
Well, she told my little girl, Sissy, she said, when I walked in, Sissy says, Mama, the girl bus driver is going to take Daddy away from us. She says that her and Daddy are in love. I said, is that right? She said, yes. And she was crying and all this, so I jumped due as he walked in the door. I said, so you're going with the bus driver? And he took off in a hurry, and I wondered where he went. But he went down to the little roadside tavern and called her.
Oh.
Yeah, he didn't come in the house and call her. He went down there and called her. Told her to come over and tell a lie. I said, tell her there's nothing going on. Well, she had my horse in her pasture. Don't tell me there wasn't something going on. She had a whole bunch of little kids, you know, and her husband left her, and I know why. And I wonder if some woman now hadn't finished her off. I don't know.
No, you shouldn't mess with another woman's man. Shouldn't do that.
No, not if they're getting along. Or if they ain't. I mean, men do. I wouldn't even get home and say hello till, you know, I'd hear this before you get in, you know.
You hear what?
So these things were going on. So I wrote all these fighting songs. And I just bought the little town of Hurricane Mills when this happened. And so I said, you better detour around my town. She detoured, too.
You say, if you don't want to, sing a little bit of that one.
Well, for crying out loud.
Well, how does it go?
You've
all the words. You've been making your brags around
That's
town.
right. Well, you don't know my song better than me.
I know all your songs.
You've been making your brags around town that you've been a loving my man. But the man I love, when he picks up trash, he puts it in a garbage can. That's what she looked like, too. That's what you look like to me.
Keep going, I want to hear.
What I see is a pity. You better close your face and stay out of my way if you don't want to go to Fifth City.
Yeah.
I got it too high for the chorus.
We'll be back. Stay tuned. Performance by Loretta Lynn.
The chorus went there.
Very wonderful.
Thank you.
Performing Coal Miner's Daughter, a song that she has not performed with her guitar for 28 years, and that she wrote, and thank God you're writing music again. I can't wait to hear the new stuff. Miss Loretta Lynn.
So if I miss a chord out there, just don't think nothing of it. Just do just like me, keep going. Well, I was born to coal miner's daughter in a cabin on a hill in Butcher Holler. We were poor, but we had love. That's the one thing that Daddy made sure of. He shoveled coal to make a poor man's dollar. My daddy worked all night in the Van Leer coal mines, all day long in the fields of hoeing corn. Mommy rocked the babies at night and read the Bible by the coal oil light, and everything would start all over come break of morn. Daddy loved and raised 8 kids on a miner's pay. Mommy scrubbed our clothes on a washboard every day. Why, I've seen her fingers bleed to complain there was no need. She'd smile in Mommy's understanding way. hard. I never thought of ever leaving, but you're hollered. Well, a lot of things have changed since way back then. Oh, and it's so good to be back home again. Come on. Not much left but the floors. Nothing lives here anymore, except the memories of a coal miner's daughter.
We love you. We love you.
I love you too.
Thank you, Loretta.
Thank you,
So
honey.
beautiful. Thank you very much. We'll come back. We'll talk about you being a single woman now. Can we talk about, do you want to talk about
Okay.
I just had this feeling, and I wanted to say to you, and I did say it to you, but I want to say it to you in front of everybody.
Okay.
I think Loretta Lynn is just starting a whole new thing. I think you are just starting out on a whole new thing that you've never been able to do before.
Roseanne, you know, I've often thought this myself, you know, that I never have done what I have really meant to do, what God has really meant for me to do. Let's put it that way.
But now
and
you feel like
I think that I will be doing everything that He's put me here for. And I think I want to tell you something, honey. I love you so much. This is a brand new guitar, Epiphone guitar, and I wrote 3 new songs on the way out here.
You did?
Yes, I did, on this guitar. And I'm gonna give you this guitar.
Wow.
And that case.
You know, I don't even know how to play it or anything. Thank you. Will you sign up for me?
Oh, you don't want that.
Huh? Will you sign up for me?
No, I want you to
I
learn
want
to
you
play
put-
it so we can do a show together.
Oh, cool.
Look here, that's
All right.
A.
All right.
As long as you got no A, D, and E, and you can write any song or sing any song. Or you can start in D, G, and A. Just get your guitar book.
Okay. Next time for when you come back, I'll know how to do that. Well, I mean, I got to have a week or two to learn.
Well, yeah, it takes a little time, but I wanted you to have that.
That is so sweet of you. Thank you.
Well,
That means so much to me. Thank you.
Now we're a duo.
I want to sing with you. Are you going to sing with me? Can we sing a song together?
Yes.
I just want to sing with you because you're like the only person that I can sing with. You know why? Because Loretta Lynn, I have to say this, when our President George Bush got mad at me for singing the national anthem and singing it real bad.
Well, it wasn't her fault.
He said I was disgusting. His good friend, he said I was a disgrace. Loretta Lynn is his good friend, and she went to the president and stuck up for me to him, didn't you?
That's right. And
I thank you for that.
Well, I want everybody to know why you did this, too. She did this because these people kept wanting her to come down and do this. She did what they told her to do. And she knew nothing about what was going on. And that made me mad, too. And George had to go out and do something or they were hollering at him. So I wanted to straighten that out.
Well, thank you.
Okay, we're going to sing You Ain't Woman Enough to Take My Man.
Yeah.
So don't none of you try it.
Check out these words.
You've come to tell me something. You say I ought to know that he don't love me anymore and I'll have to let him go. You say you're gonna take him, oh, but I don't think you can, 'cause you ain't woman enough to take my man. Yeah. Women like you that are dime a dozen, you can buy them anywhere. For you to get to him, I have to move over and I'm gonna stand right here. It'll be over my dead body, so get out while you can, 'cause you ain't woman enough to take my man. That's right. Hey, you did real great.
Thank you for letting me sit with you.
Now, see?
I'm going to
All we
practice
need is a
out.
little practice. See, that was D, G, and that was
D, G,
That was A,
A,
D, and
D, and
G.
G. Now I'm going to practice out for next
That's
time
right.
you come
Just
back.
bring it right down there, your finger.
All right.
Right in there. Just get this, hold that one.
Wow.
This one right here, too.
Huh?
Can you put your finger there over there?
Which finger?
That'll be A.
Like that?
No, just one finger.
I need to get
there
me a
you go.
lesson
You
or
got
two
it.
there,
You got
Loretta.
that. There's A.
All right.
Just hold all them press down. That's A.
Okay.
Now now I'll go to G. You can do this for G and this.
I know this one, Loretta.
Is that G? That's G.
That's the only one I do know.
Okay, that's half of the battle right there. Now, D. That's the only one you don't know. The A is just, just the
Well, I'm
second
gonna
fret.
forget A.
Put this right there.
All right.
This here.
All right.
Now this one right there.
But
Mm-mm.
I'm getting a cramp, Loretta.
Now there's your D.
Getting a cramp in the finger there.
You learn them three. You already know G. And A is right here. You'll get it because you can.
I will practice and practice till you come back, because I want to be your partner.
Okay.
Thank you.
We will do a duet.
Give me a big old kiss.
I love you.
Thank you. I love you. Thank you for being on my show.
Hey.
Thank you for this year's
On the next Roseanne Show, it's all about sex with former Baywatch babe Tracy Bingham.